This is bad. The gazelle, on the other hand, is on the ground, so that is good. We might actually be able to shoot it with anti-tank weaponry when it's not flying. Still. Sacrificial Super Cobra, please. You will not fire on anyone, you will scout. And scout. Not a good way to start this. Infantry Sam, you shitting me? Still need to move forward, otherwise the other helicopter will die. It's a good chance we'll lose this helicopter. That's irrelevant though. Well, it's not irrelevant, it's gonna cost us. This probably costs us how much? 60 points. We're 60 points in the hole already. Actually a bit more. I miscalculated. Yeah. The main problem is that we are already in firing position against each other. They're not coming at a location where I can't see them. Yeah, this is basically moving is fucking death here. We probably have to redeploy because now this is a hellish situation. Anyone who makes even the slightest movement will be met with a huge amount of enemy fire. There's still one thing we can try. We can basically let them to the first move. I don't think it'll work. The reason is they're going to have a huge amount of units ready to fire, so the moment we start doing counter fire for their movement, they're going to counter that immediately with a huge amount of extra shots. So we're basically blind while seeing most of our units, because we can't really see them until they do something. I guess the other option might be to basically not try to reduce all the reaction ranges to nothing. I don't think that's a good idea either, because they have gazelles, so they will see our units. So I think this is pretty much not going to work, but yeah, here comes the reaction fire. Still, they can't take a huge amount of casualties. Yeah, Yeah, this isn't good enough. The the casualties will mount up to levels that we can't basically get through this mission. These level of casualties. So even if we can end this fight in a turn or two, the cost is way too high. Oh, what smoke. We don't really have to have a lot of smoke, because we are trying to survive a turn or two. Certain units have to move. There's no getting around that. They will not survive this. Tanks probably will, but none of the lighter vehicles can. Yeah, these are basically dead. They can't contribute anything particularly useful either. So I'm just hoping that they don't have excellent optics or electronics, because if they do, all of this is worthless. You are too high here, I think. I mean, the smoke won't protect this guy, but we'll see. Everyone's gonna get in their positions too quickly, so there's really no time to do much. Don't spot any high altitude units. Went much better than I expected. So their electronics are not good. The Super Cobras are probably the best units to open fire with. It's pretty much impossible for them to take out any of these. There aren't any particularly good targets. Take what we can get. Smoke won't last long. And my ability to replenish this isn't exactly great. You'll move forward after a couple turns, but not immediately. Successfully evades. Good for him. I think we have a good chance to basically end this fight very, very quickly. No, it ended in the previous mission because we already controlled all the flags. That's why. Here we don't really control shit, so it can't end quickly, even if we can cause heavy casualties on them. Still, it would end the practical fighting in very quickly. The shooting might keep going and the killing, but they could not really do anything. I don't really care what type of kills we get. In many ways, it's the infantry vehicles that are much much more of a problem for me. If you shoot at a tank like this and destroy it, the threat is gone. With the APCs, it's just beginning. I'm hoping by killing enough, they don't have enough units to push immediately forward. Checking the ammo situation on the smoke, we might have to re-establish it. Isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. UEs. We could get troops here. Would be Marine Corps. Is it worth it? Well, we're, let's say at the very least, very vulnerable if we try to do that. That's hardly a reason not to do it though. Only want the troops fairly close together. Want the engineers because I don't think these guys have a lot of smoke ammunition. 0. No? 1. 0. I don't know if we even need it. Stability is so poor at the moment, and there haven't been too many troops here yet, so we might be okay. That's pretty much it. Could I shoot at the gazelle? I don't see how that would work. The reason for shooting is that it's already routed, so we might be able to drive it off the map. Right, I can see other waves of enemies coming through. So, that was a goddamn miracle. We didn't lose anything. They probably are gonna lose 2 helicopters at least. And they're in perfect position for us to punish them a little bit more. I think I have enough smoke to keep these guys in cover a little bit longer. But even if I don't, doesn't really matter. Yeah, a lot of them are sort of buttoned or pinned down even without me firing a shot at them. So the casualties are significant. Right, who wants to start? I don't want to start with the Cobras because we are probably going to spot additional units on this turn, or additional dangers I need to respond to. Uh, Sacrificial crap, this is your time to shine. Soft target please. What the fuck am I even shooting at? Not so sure. Right, it's a small APC. Might be able to destroy a Type 85. The Type 92s are a little bit too much. Ooh, that's don't think that's even something I can fire at. Yeah, it's not good enough. I think there were some machine gun units, that sort of crap. Again, don't think these can do much at the moment. Mortars, on the other hand, you can. Is there something where... Ooh, there's something worth shooting at. It's not much. Still suppression. I think some of the APCs they're using are so small that they're pretty hard to hit even with these weapons. Yeah, for one thing they evade them fairly easily, but for another they're just so small that they're hard to hit. Right. You actually need to get some kills here though. Yeah, that's not a kill. It's a nice hit, but it's not a kill. Yeah, we're missing awfully a lot, even though we don't really have any suppression. More importantly, we're not killing anything. Not a goddamn thing. First target destroyed, and that's the... don't have shots left. Helicopter down. Good kill. This would have the capability of taking down these APCs, but that'll be it. I think we'll have to go take some shots. Might also have to move. I'm hoping that the anti-air threat is basically drastically reduced at this point. That's what I'm hoping. We've driven off a couple, we've destroyed one, so it will have an impact. Right. Zero smoke. 4 smoke. Two smoke. This is the final smoke screen we can give them, so no point staying here. Abrams. You have to take down enemy tanks, heavy hitting tanks preferably. Yeah, everything here is retreating. I don't think our tank should be firing anymore. there's a good chance more additional units will come through, so someone has to be able to return fire on them. Progress. So we don't want to go too high, we're still fairly vulnerable. Gotta be shitting me. I don't think I want to fire with these at all. They seem to react fairly well on new incoming enemies, and I think I do need that reaction help. We're here to react to infantry coming our way, not to make any kind of a push at the moment. There's going to be additional APCs and tanks coming through soon too, probably on the next turn even. So we just need something to help clean that up. Marine engineers will aid in that. Actually, I'm not sure if they will. I mean, we have units inside here, which is very nice. You see that one. Definitely want to take that out. It's in a... might see these. We have smoke ammunition. I don't want to go to high elevation. This might be the only thing we can do. Button, not routed, not retreating. Okay, it's really a question what are we gonna do with the UAs. I'm not too eager to rush in there. There's no real need to have the infantry there at this particular second. And we know they have anti-air capabilities. We know they have a lot of units left. So just trying to rush here now without any proper support. I mean, we have a couple of units that might be able to fire and do something, but most are spent, so they couldn't aid us even if we encounter trouble. I think it's better for us to just pull back a little bit, not make much of a difference. Mobility on these things is so ridiculous. Yeah, this is my biggest worry, these units. Holy shit, we shot one of them down. Still, their performance has been miserable. They lost a ton of units and achieved jack shit. Still, they have bravely attacking at least a handful of units. But I'm not seeing anything too impressive anymore. Why should I start with these though? Because my reasoning is why start with these. Do they really benefit too much from the experience? I think they might get a second shot with the missiles, but once they have that, that's pretty much it. Right, there's like one helicopter we need to still deal with. But after that we can start making progress. It's a genuine kill for us. You can see mostly crew. I don't think we should move the Abramses. They're holding our center here against everything. So no matter what they throw our way, the Abramses can at least hold it at bay. Any useful targets? Nope. 1/3 of the mission done. They still have threats, but there really isn't any serious threat to our victory here. Right, I think it's time to start moving the extra infantry squads in. I do not want to be seen by enemy squads. So we'll take it carefully for now. Also, there might be a lot of forces coming from the north. There's only additional forces coming from the north. So more or less we want to take positions here. Hold it. Right. I think we're gonna start pushing forward after the next turn. Certainly have the mobility to take everything, so that's not really a concern. I would estimate maybe 3 turns to reach here, unless we have to fight all that much. Someone should be seeing the tank. It's you. You do not see it. This guy sees it. So it's very, very specific. Okay. Fair enough. You see it now. Take it as a target. Did not expect that. Well, it got damaged, it's not coming back. But that's 60-point casualty on our side. And that's like a miracle shot that they performed there. It's the worst possible target they could have fired at. I don't think they even attempted it. They probably attempted to fire on that, and it was just in the wrong place, the wrong time. At the same time, our mission has gone so well at this point, I don't really see a point in trying to load just because we got a nasty casualty. It's not even a part of the core group. So it'll cost us, but unless the game fails us because of that, I'm not particularly interested. Right. More importantly, this. I don't think this tank is gonna move anywhere, so we basically just have to shoot it from here. Right. There's really no enemies spotted at this point. There's a couple of crews and things like that, but that's pretty much nothing. Okay. You cannot do anything. There's a frontline guy who has to react to incoming infantry squads. Sort of similar here. The routed enemy crew. Was a routed enemy crew. We have a good hold, solid position here. Where are my UEs at? I think I want to drop them fairly close to these flags. We have additional troops we need to pick up. Not really, but there's the bots. We have some, and if we could get the anti-tank units closer to this place too, well, it would certainly help. I'm not really sure it would make that much of a real difference though. I mean, we're very unlikely to use them as the first units to peek on the other side. We're gonna use vehicles and standard infantry squads. Right. Not sure helicopters make a lot of sense. We know there are SAM units there waiting for us. So they're totally worthless against anything but the helicopters. So why insist on shoving helicopters in there first? Still doesn't mean we can't do something with these. A little bit closer. So we can just peek over the hill and shoot. With these, I'm not sure if we should do all that much. Maybe send some of them to this hill, but for example, there has been a singular tank destroyed here. So I find it very unlikely that that's the only tank that was there. And we're in a fairly good support fire position, so maybe we should just wait. We have enough ammunition too, so we don't need any kind of a refill. Same with these, we might spread things around a little bit, but that's about it. Not even so sure we should spread our things around. We have an okay amount of ammunition. Actually, no, we don't. Oh, recharge ammo it is. Ah, yeah, the Abramses can't just sit here if the much weaker units are moving forward. Gonna move our position on the little ridge here. Right. Suppose these guys probably leave here too. Tanks, heavy tanks. Why the fuck aren't the actual units that are good at shooting at these targets are firing at all? God damn it. On the other hand, it's not like they did anything, so we're still in a fairly good position. I'll probably destroy anything I can still see here by the units that are in position. Right, there's pretty much just a couple though. Anyone who has a single shot gets to fire. In the hopes that they get their second one. Okay, there was another anti-tank vehicle there. That one. Helicopter taking it out would probably be the best bet. Although it does only have the red arrow missile, so infantry could go there and blow it up. 27 cost for this piece of shit. Yeah, I suppose it's fairly small compared to my similar unit. And you failed. That's the only thing you know how to do. I still don't want to rush through this. I know we have to go, but we have to go. I would prefer to go when we have some serious support, because it's like almost guaranteed that there's at least a couple of half damaged infantry squads just pinned or buttoned here, and we're gonna stumble into them. It's gonna be a nightmare. Go get these. How close do I want to go? We actually don't think I want to place these engineers anywhere. Just gonna pick them up. We're gonna use them to take the flags in the rear. Wait. But who's gonna kill that one? It has to die. It's not so simple as me flying a Super Cobra there either. If I do, it's gonna be shot at. Quite a lot. Same time, ooh, I think the other version of these might have specialty ammunition. I'm not sure if this gun can destroy that one. If I shoot at the rear, it's probably guaranteed kill. But that would leave me in a very, very weak position if the enemy decides to attack. Yeah, that's what I thought. Holy ass cracker. So there's still a significant force coming our way. It was worth it. This will change things quite a bit. Probably also is not gonna be able to hit that blasted thing, but might as well fire. Ooh, we managed to hit. We could probably kill it too. I think the Gazelle is a better target for us, at least with these weapons. Although I don't think we're gonna hit from this distance. You really need to be point blank to guarantee a hit against another helicopter. Wait, we do have these. What the hell are you doing? Can you see anything? No. So what the hell is the point of being here? Right, if he brings the Gazelle into this fight, we have 4 anti-air units, close air support units basically. No, not close air support. Close range anti-air units that can move with the rest of the squad. They're pretty much anti-helicopter units. Right, we could shoot at the Gazelle, but these guys are not gonna hit the goddamn Gazelle. Still, we could do our suicide rush. Ooh, I am not comfortable being this close with these self-propelled artillery units. They are terrible against enemy armor and very, very easy to hit by enemy armor. So pretty much the worst possible unit to use. fight at this close range with tanks is pretty much lethal on both sides. At a longer distance I would have had the advantage, but on these distances I don't think anyone has the advantage. I just lose the little advantage I had. Okay, I think we're gonna more or less just hold position. Hopefully that these guys are gonna react to the whatever units are coming our way. I'm not sure this is a good idea. The problem is that these type of missile systems that we use are terrible at close ranges. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Who died? Support Super Cobra. So 120 casualties. This is starting to be a problem. I'm gonna see the mission through, but these type of casualties make decisive victories very, very difficult. On the other hand, they do have a lot of tanks on their side too, so they're not cheap. They have to pay about 80 for the better tank, and we've killed quite a few of them. So we'll probably have to kill something like 6 to 7 tanks per helicopter though, in order to compensate. So that gives the good idea of how big of a difference that makes. So we'll have to kill additional 8,000 tanks to compensate for the loss of 2 helicopters. And that starts to be a number that the enemy is basically running out of tanks before we get to compensation numbers. So that is not good. Also 5 turns left. So I don't know if we can delay making a proper assault anymore. They're very likely going to be directed here because we took a flag. At the same time, we control this flag too, so surely the same applies here. They're moving at it toward us, but not at a huge speed. I think on the next turn, a lot is going to be decided on. So we're going to move into a position where we can push significant force through the line of smoke and destroy a lot of targets there. We'll have to push the remaining helicopters there at least. Probably the tanks. But we know they have a lot more waiting. We'll just have to hope that these missile platforms are enough to provide the necessary support fire. I am running out of ammunition clearly though. How bad is the situation? This guy has a single shot. Everyone else can at least fire for one additional turn. So we're okay for one full salvo on everyone. Then it started to become a real problem. But we're gonna need a lot of mobility to push through and take out all the relevant targets on the other side. So, however, these are terrible units at this job. "19. Yeah, there's still a decent amount of them. Maybe about half a dozen that might actually fight back. The anti-air. No. Yes. Importantly enough, it seems like we're okay to take a peek and fire. We might as well do that with everyone. Immobilize. That is the last thing I really want to see. They would move, they wouldn't be hitting so much. Okay. We're taking out quite a lot of their aircraft already. I mean, they might have more, but I don't think we need to count on that. If I'm going to lose more attack helicopters, I might have to reload or redo something. Otherwise, we're getting into the danger zone really heavily, where we might not be able to handle things anymore. There's a retreating tank, a couple of bottom tanks. Right. I'm gonna thrive through here at the center with the tanks. We need to be within striking distance, so ability to take out like 3 or 4 units without any helicopter support. Not an easy task, but we'll have to do it. Yeah, if we could take down some of them targets now, that would be great. That's infantry Sam. I think we should focus on the anti-air. I mean, yeah, it's great if we can take down a tank or two, but if we can take down all the anti-air capabilities, we can pretty much just come in here and not have to worry about anything. Also, the extra casualties on their side are going to weaken their capability of attacking, so that's a great boon for us too. As far as I can see, they should have zero vehicle-based anti-air capabilities anymore. They do have machine guns on the tanks, but that's you can't do that. You can't survive that. It just doesn't work. Might be able to drop engineers on top of them too. They could take down tanks. It wouldn't be my first line of attack. It carries a huge risk with it. It's a possibility. They're in too good of a condition for us to attack now. They'll definitely do reaction fire. Okay, what do we want to kill? Amusingly enough, it's the retreating units that are actually the better target for us. Easier to destroy, and they might stop, so we can't easily destroy them even if we push through. These are much better targets for us. Immobilize. Well, that's the worst possible thing that could happen. I suppose it was already retreating, so we might hope that it could lose its nerve. Oh no, not the mortar. Right, this is an important turn for us. This will decide how things will go. 4 turns left on the mission, so it's not irrelevant. They've abandoned some vehicles, which is great. But some of their infantry, ooh, there's HQ unit. Some of their infantry at least is in perfect condition to still make moves. And we are super boned. Super boned. Yep, ready for action. This helps quite a bit. They're in good shape. We'll have to be careful what we want to do here. We could draw fire, but I'm not sure if we want to at the moment. Because a helicopter or two could basically paralyze their ability to do anything. But it has to be a helicopter at this point, pretty much. Nothing else can do enough of a difference here. And it's a Hellfire missile that basically has to take out a vehicle. Right, we need to kill one of these. Treating button ready, excellent. Mr. Ready has to go. Not exactly the results I was hoping for, but it's probably good enough. We need another kill, I'm pretty certain of that. Another ready unit destroyed, so that's not gonna be able to do shit. Right. I think things overall are looking fairly strong for us. Only 2 additional Super Cobras left. We still need a tank kill, I think. And it has to be this one, because it was in the perfect condition, pretty much. Alternatively, that one. Yeah, we are pretty much good to go. There's no serious resistance left. At least not that I can see. I can still also see their SAM units and HQ units, so I'm fairly confident that they don't have that serious resistance anywhere. Could probably destroy that one. It's pretty much a headache for our... No. We don't need a missile for that. We can just go with the Gatling guns and rocket pods. We need missiles for the tanks. Probably want that one. The closer ones are fairly easy to take out with the regular units. Rotate. Excellent, excellent. You are visible to them. Infantry squad gone. Crew gone. Right. I more or less want to see more, see if they react. These guys would still probably react if I go right next to them. So not all threat is gone. You can't see shit, but you... Ooh, what are these? Self-propelled artillery units. Right. There's no point staying here anymore. We need to get to a location where we might be able to shoot at these. No, we're gonna go to the center. Because if we encounter something new, these guys will not be able to handle it unless it's a vehicle of some sort. So better not risk it. Does everyone have ammunition? Enough. I'd like to recharge our ammo storage, but we really don't have that many turns left. So if something unexpected happens, we can't really do much about it. Let's see how things happen here. I have no idea how these are gonna react to a unit going right next to them. I haven't really encountered them before in this sense. Not reacting anyway. There's no sudden enemy troops hidden here. It's pretty much what we can see. So this is going to be our push. Infantry first. That's one SAM unit. That's pretty much worthless at the moment. What else? Where's the other? Both have casualties now. Not going to make them totally worthless, but it'll certainly make their lives a little bit more difficult. Have to be careful with this. Not accidentally want to go next to them. Also, we really have units to take them out. We really have them. So sure we do. I can shoot a couple of times at least. Okay, that made a big difference. I don't see all that many armored targets for us to shoot at anymore. This is pretty much the last one. Okay. Full speed ahead. Doesn't matter what you shoot at something. No need to hold back at this point. Trying to figure out, is there really a good target for us to go after? And I don't think there are all that many good targets. Good to go after some infantry pretty much. But the best might be to go after these. So somewhere around here maybe. Reduced elevation. Yeah, I don't see anything. A couple of infantry squads might still cause me a little bit of trouble. If we can kill these, that's great. I'm not even sure if that's really necessary. Still, yeah, I don't see any particular threat if we're just here. We might be able to take down the artillery forces. Now they're cheap as shit, but they're also easy to destroy, so I don't see why I shouldn't go after them. A helicopter has to take care of that. I don't want to risk these. Okay. Kill their HQ unit still. I think that's basically it. They can still manage to kill something of ours after that, they deserve it. So that's a massive moral blow, then there's no recovery from this. They also suffer from a massive amount of extra casualties too, so... Ooh. How is this gonna work? Assault failed, but they're doing flamethrower assault, so that's pretty bad. Not sure the UE should really get all that far at this point. Their best use might be to sort of clean this place up. Couldn't choose a closer target. Right, huge success. Anyone still capable of operating here? I think there was at least a pinned infantry squad or something. That could have been quite a while ago. Yeah, that's a ready squad. Ready crew. Okay, I think that's pretty much a wrap on this one. I don't recall when was the last time we really got one of these old-fashioned ones, where we don't really have to do all that much, but sit still and just fire. Causing me minor damage, but that's it. I think we can take the rest of the flags now. Okay, anything else? Immobilized. I'm gonna go through my units through the list. That should be enough to handle this. Holy shit! Infantry SAM unit ambushes us for some reason. Good thing for us, it might have actually done damage to a helicopter. Right, we haven't had all that much use for these artillery pieces. I'm sort of still thinking, should we really try to get rid of them? The helicopters are just so much more useful. At the same time, every time we need a huge amount of smoke or things like that, infantry comes our way, they're very useful. thing is, it's very rare for the sort of nature of the enemy force you engage to change drastically in the middle of a campaign. I don't think this is going to be an exception. So, how useful are the artillery? Compared to having half a dozen helicopters. Being okay is not good enough. Helicopters are amazing. No one wants a free kill apparently. Core army units first. So they basically have no vehicles left. A couple of infantry units here and there. Point-wise they're not worth much, but they're kills still. And we could use the extra points too because of the casualties we got, so we'll go for everything. Every last point we can get out of this. Every kill is worth at least a point. The infantry I'm not actually sure if that's true. Every kill, unit kill certainly is, but not sure how damage to infantry squads is counted. The unit costs like 4 points and it has 13 guys, not every casualty can be a point. Right, I think we're pretty much done. 3,185 versus 113. I don't understand how they got so few points, because we lost 2 helicopters and their combined point value should be 120. Still, they lost what, 300 men, 16 APCs, 42 fighting vehicles, 2 helicopters and 2 bombers. Now, that's a good one. Helicopters were even. That's depressing. The more important is that they used bombers and fighter craft to shoot down my helicopters. I think that's the risk of holding your position for a long time. Also luck. You cannot aim fighter craft that accurately. They usually try to go for the target hex you aimed at if you have a spotter. They might still prefer another target when they actually do their approach. So you can't ever be 100% sure that it will go exactly where you want it. So that's why I think at least the first helicopter kill they got was luck. The second might not have been. Right, 11 men, 2 helicopters in a fight like this is still a good result. Two veterans. 3, 4, excellent. 5. I think we're mostly just going to repair all. Leaves us with 259 extra points. So we could certainly afford to upgrade things. I don't think there's anything worth buying. We could change some additional units to Abramses, but I sort of want to. I think we hit a fairly good balance initially. I was thinking we might want to upgrade more to Abramses, but I'm not so sure we do. You need some sort of a smoke on demand, anti-infantry capability, anti-air, anti-tank. So while I wish we had a couple of extra Abramses, maybe 3, I don't really know what I would want to give up to get that. These are the question mark. Self-propelled artillery. I think we could do a 3, leave 3 of them. They can provide a significant amount of smoke, and they can certainly counter the amount of infantry I'm seeing. Because most infantry is inside APCs at this stage. If we can destroy the APCs, a big chunk of the infantry goes with them. So we're not going to encounter the type of infantry concentrations we encountered against North Korea, for example. So Super Cobras would be much more valuable in this. And I really have no complaints about the Hellfire missiles. But I also think if I massively increase the amount of helicopters I have, they'll massively increase the amount of anti-air missile capabilities they carry into these missions. So there's a risk with that. We could upgrade the artillery pieces themselves. I'm not sure what the benefit is. You get less ammunition, your cost goes up, your speed goes down. I'll upgrade one because I want to see what the difference actually is. The speed isn't drastically changed and the size is still massive, like 6. That's a huge ask artillery. But I think what I'm hoping is that they'll get specialty ammunition because the M109 A1s don't have any. So if the paladins get anti-tank ammunition, that would basically make them much, much, much more valuable to me. But we'll see. I don't want to buy additional ones because I might just want to basically turn them into super cobras at some point. The paladin could be a difference maker in that it might have additional abilities. April 15th, 1997. The Chinese army is in retreat. The Chinese 12th Army pulled out of Hualien and set up a series of blocking positions to delay our advance. Latest reports from our patrols indicate that a battalion of infantry has set up roadblocks along the road to Keelang. Your orders are to secure the road and eliminate any enemy units you meet. Let's see how much of a battalion of infantry it actually is and how much it's an army of tanks. So it's basically run across a road, probably at a very tight map, so we don't have a huge amount of time. We have a huge amount of points, so that would indicate a meeting engagement, which would again indicate that it's pretty much a repeat of the previous mission, and I don't think there's going to be much of a platoon of infantry, not really. I mean a battalion of infantry. That would mean a lot of anti-tank units though. A lot of anti-tank units. Like a lot of anti-tank units and a lot of anti-air units too. So it could be a real headache to try to do away with a squad like this. Self-propelled artillery would be great in that case, but how about some gunships? Not sure we want all that many. We want sacrificial ones to scout and reveal the infantry. I think we want points in other things this time. Self-propelled artillery is still the best option to go with against a lot of infantry. There's no doubt about that. The problem is I'm not all that convinced that we're gonna face that amount of infantry really. And if we are not, then it's wasted units. Infantry versus infantry is not a good idea. We would need a lot of APCs of some sort. That always works fairly well. Humvees are not bad. The better ones would have a grenade launcher. Some armoring, but I don't think the armoring is enough. You'd like a little bit more. And it has like 10 shots. What the hell is that? Light armored vehicle. There's no indication how much troops you can fit in, but this would have a shitty autocannon and a couple of machine guns. This is more or less exactly what we need. It is fairly sizable, so it wouldn't be great against other tanks, but it's still fast as hell. So it would be great at attacking a lot of infantry. Also, could we get that in platoon form, please? Now, no, these are amphibious. I don't want these. 46 apiece. These are 15 apiece, but you can only buy them individually. Sure, like let's buy half a dozen. Want some infantry. A rifle platoon is probably okay. Is it though? 46 points. So taking self-propelled artillery. I mean, we're not gonna get all that many, but assuming the intel on the encounter is correct, this is what we want. 3. It's still a respectable number. They can move with the half a dozen APCs and the infantry. Especially the APCs, we can afford to lose. We can afford to lose 4 of them compared to a single helicopter. But they're much better at scouting than anything else we really have, and they have good weaponry, surprisingly good. So any light vehicles, infantry, that sort of crap, they're great against that. Totally worthless against tanks though. But that's hardly a problem. Uh, ammo carrier, right. You can only afford a single ammo truck, but that's not too big of a problem. It is an actual advanced mission, so the enemy delays. That's nice. Have a couple of good positions. Rough terrain, hills, so they're positioned here. They can also shoot me at a flanking position. So yeah, they're actually in a fairly good spot as far as I can see. We're going to set up most of our troops to move along the road with a couple of helicopters escorting them. Additional helicopters have to go at the site to make sure these hills are abandoned. Length is 14, more than enough. Visibility is 61, absolutely great. So I don't see any major problems with this. I can shoot a decent amount of smoke from these two. Ooh, this is what I needed to check. Yeah, the paladins have 5 high explosive anti-tank shells. So they can, that's on that size of a gun, that's probably enough to take out a tank if we can shoot in the ass point blank. Certainly enough to take down anything below that. You usually don't have much use for that, but sometimes you do. It is very valuable, I've noticed. Right, we probably want to be in a position where we can shoot fairly well with the anti-tank units we have. But where do we really want to position them? I'll put them in 2 groups. We want to get as much visibility with them as possible right from the start. And they probably, actually, I'm not sure they would have strike elements. They probably have some artillery or helicopters though. We want the main force to move across along the road though, not come here in any way. There might be some troops here, but the helicopters and other units should be able to take care of that. We want some engineers to cover the asses of these people, just in case we need some extra smoke. But is that good enough? It's going to have to be. We can use the UEs to transport these to the front lines as necessary, so I'm not too worried about leaving infantry behind. We also have some extra troops, so we can use them to escort the actual uh, frontline army teams through. So again, not particularly worried about such things. Um, doesn't really matter where we put the javelin teams. I don't think they can do all that much. Cannon, machine gun, machine gun. Plenty of ammunition. Sabo ammunition with the gun, so properly positioned these could also penetrate a lot of armor. Still, it's 25mm, so it's we don't want to go into anything but point blank against heavier units. Still, you're the one. Oh, can they carry troops? Yeah, 6. They would be perfect for the anti-tank units. We're also gonna stick extra javelin units in them too. Missing anti-tank capabilities. Have to be somewhat careful with that though. It's because they have a javelin unit inside them doesn't really mean shit. Javelin unit is not a good combat unit to just spontaneously drop against in front of a platoon of tanks. It's not gonna end well. But at least they carry something useful. Right. And extra anti-infantry capabilities. My biggest worry is that there's a huge amount of infantry, anti-tank and all that already in position, so the moment I try to do anything there's just gonna be a lot of missiles firing all over the place. But at the same time, it's not much I can do about that. No matter where I position my troops, that's a possibility. And I could fire some smoke, I guess. If they truly have infantry, the smoke would help. It would help a lot. Oh, I would think they can more or less start deploying at around half the map, assuming this follows normal rules. Most of our units will have improved optics, so smoke doesn't mean crap to us. Want my command helicopter? Right. I think smoke on this hill and this hill might be something worth thinking about. No, 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 no. With the mortar, sure, but nothing with not. No, because we might want directed smoke. Right. I'll leave things here. I'm not sure if this is a good way to deploy things, but I'm sure we can still handle it even if it's not. There's enough, a little bit of a cover here, so nothing from the long range can fire at us. There's hills blocking, and I have enough smoke on both groups that I can buy at least around 4 to 5 turns time where I can just take out anything they have in position now. So that should be enough.